Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Four Lights Wellness. My name is Omid. In this video, we're going to be talking a lot about how to stabilize your neck to potentially avoid neck pain in the first place, or if you have it, how to actually solve for it. One of the biggest things that happens when people start to experience pain in the body, they'll look up some stuff online and eventually they'll figure out that, hey, my core is weak. And the reason I put that in air quotes, the core is not just in the lower parts of the abdominal wall. There's a lot of core muscles that can help stabilize that spine, but we tend to forget that it actually goes all the way up through the entire neck, right? What I define as core muscles is anything that stabilizes that spine and is really close to the spine, so it has some good leverage, rather than pulling sideways on something. Longus collis, longus capitis, those are up in the neck muscles really deep to the sternocleidomastoid, the upper traps, the levator scap. All of those tend to pull us to the side. Now again, there's no quiz in life. You don't have to memorize all these muscles, but you just got to understand that there's some musculature in the neck that we don't train that often. And without that conditioning, it can lead your neck to being a really unstable mess that tends to lead to a lot of this kind of upper trap pain and headaches, migraines, tension in the jaw, all of that stuff. So to do this, I tend to like in the clinic to use a blood pressure cuff, just get some feedback and not overwork these muscles. But at home, just grab a rolled up towel, get it to about 2 or 3 inches. Or if you happen to have one of these little soft rolls, anything like this can work, and I'll show you how to do this. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this camera to the side view here on my little table. I'm gonna start by showing just this little roll here. What we're trying to do with this is we're just trying to engage the muscles of the cervical flexors, cervical meaning neck, flexors meaning rolling down. We're not trying to crush this roll. All I'm going to do is just take my chin, I'm going to tuck it down a little bit, and that's it. Again, I'm not trying to flatten this thing. I don't want to go from a forward head to a military neck really tight and stiff. I'm just trying to engage some of this musculature. And if I show off my sternocleidomastoid here, it's very soft. What happens to a lot of people sometimes when they do this is they'll do that, and now this is all really tight and it feels like they're choking themselves. You want to work this muscle to the point where it can stay on all day, every day to help stabilize you. And especially when we start talking about the core, we're not looking for rigidity. We want the core to be a functional, moving part of our body. So what I'll do sometimes when I'm doing this is I'll look to the side, I'll look to the side, I'll look up, but I'll try and keep tension in this area. Now, the reason I really like the blood pressure cuff for this, I learned this from Paul Chek way back in the day. We take our blood pressure cuff uninflated behind that cervical, we grab our little bulb and we start to inflate this guy to the point where the chin starts to move up. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. It doesn't really matter what's on the number itself. Does not matter, but I'm gonna look at this thing. I'm just gonna start inflating. And at some point in time, you'll see my chin starts to move that way. So for me today, it's roughly about 120-ish millimeters of mercury. But again, it doesn't really matter. For you, it could be at 200. For some people, if they're really flat in the neck, this might be at 80. It doesn't really matter. All I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck my chin to about 10 millimeters of mercury going up. I'm going to try my best to do this on the camera. Going down. I could crush this thing and take it up really high, but I don't want to do that. I want to maintain just a little light bit of pressure through that neck. And I'm doing a decent job of holding that. Protocol here, any core muscle, any stabilizer muscle, there's a lot of what they call the type 1 fibers, the slow twitches in there. We want to get at least to about 90 to 100 seconds of work. If you can get to 120 seconds, do it. They also recover very quickly. So if you're doing about 120 seconds per set, we're going to take about 30 seconds only on our rest. We're going to do it again. If you're really not fatigued yet, take another 30 seconds, do it again. If you're having trouble with this and you start getting neck pain for any reason, lower the reps. So I might hold this for about 10 seconds and take about 2 or 3 seconds off. 10 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds off. 10 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds off and just get up to that 100 to 120 second range. What we're looking for with this, though, is that after you're done, when we start to assess our neck tension, again, we're having some change there. We should have less tension in a lot of the compensating muscles. Upper trapezius, kind of through here, the sternocleidomastoid should be able to touch in here and it be a little softer. If they're not, chances are you probably need to stretch those muscles first, so that way they don't compensate because of these longest C muscles not actually doing their job. But don't forget, guys, there is a core inside of your neck that you got to work to, okay? That's it for this video. I hope that information is very helpful to you guys. As always, have a happy and healthy rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.